screaming and crying, crying the whole night long. Screaming and crying, crying the whole night long. Well, I love my baby, but I did my baby wrong. Writing plenty letters, sending telegrams through the air. Writing plenty letters, sending telegrams through the air. Well, I love my baby, but she's in this world somewhere. Writing plenty letters, sending telegrams through the air. Writing plenty letters, sending telegrams through the air. Well, I love my baby, but I'm in this world somewhere.
All right. Ooh, yeah. Mr. Andy Santana.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Welcome to Blues Harmonica. We're here with Andy Santana tonight. My name's George Brandow, and our co-host is Christina Kahn. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit about Andy's career, his CDs got out, where he's touring, and things like that. And we're also going to be covering the history of the harmonica, give you a little education while we're at it. And we're going to also talk about some of the health benefits you can get from playing the harmonica. And then we're also going to have a harmonica lesson here live on TV, Christina's first harmonica lesson. So sit back, enjoy the show, and I want to introduce Andy Santana.
Thank you for having me here.
A pleasure. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Andy?
I'm a tourist. I like long walks in the park. And no, actually, born in San Jose, here
right.
in this
Me
area.
Too, local boy.
But raised in Hawaii, home of the blues, as you know. Well, you know, not really. It was later on that I actually got. In fact, while I was in Hawaii, you know, I got lucky enough to hear some blues music, but mostly British blues, and it led me to the real blues. You know, so
Butterfield.
That was probably kind of stiff.
No, excuse me.
It was kind of stiff.
No,
Probably,
there was some pretty cool stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
because you know, John Mayall, he had Jimmy Page and all kinds of really great, players. Peter Green, an amazing guitar player, amazing blues guitar, really an amazing guitar player, and that stuff led me back to the blues. And so,
So how old were you when you started playing?
well, I started very late. I got my first harmonica when I was about 25, and a dear friend of mine said, "You need some music," and handed me a harmonica as a birthday gift. And she lives in someplace around in the Bay Area. I haven't seen her for many years, but I really thank her for giving me that because it really did help. You know, having music is a wonderful thing. You know.
Sure. What kind of harp was it?
It was a Horner harp. It was, I didn't know what to do with it at first. I mean, it wasn't until years later that I actually decided to take it seriously, and I started to practice. I was putting in 8-9 hours a day for about a year the first year,
Holy
and then
smoke.
probably 3 or 4 hours a day for about 3
Jeez.
years. I went nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must have interfered with the day job.
Not really.
Now, did you have dimples before you started playing
No,
the
I did
harmonica?
not. In fact, I know that a lot of people. That's one of those. It can be a detriment, but you get dimples if you. Well, that's not true. Okay, but no, you don't get dimples if you play. That's the truth.
Oh, that's too bad. I really thought you could actually form dimples from blowing.
Well, I don't have them.
But do you blow? I mean,
So anyway, why don't you tell us a little bit about your harmonicas?
I have several different kinds here, but right now what you see here, you probably see a whole array of harmonicas. I have them in different keys, and that's part of what my particular genre of music dictates. I play a diatonically scaled harmonica. In other words, it only has, if you take, for simplicity's sake, let's say you take the key of C on a piano. If you see all the white keys,
White keys.
do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Yeah.
Those are the notes that are in the diatonic scale. The black notes, which are the sharps and flats, if you were to add all those, which this harmonica doesn't have, you would get sharps and flats, and that's a different kind of a harmonica. It's called a chromatic. It's a larger harmonica. It has a little button on the side where you can get your sharps and flats.
So diatonic, did you say?
This is a diatonically scaled harmonica.
And chromatics.
And chromatic. Because it's a difference between another significant difference between the two harmonicas is that these allow you to. They didn't intend it when they first designed these harmonicas, but it allows you to bend notes, which you can't. You can do a little bit of that on a chromatic, but not very. They're not set up for that. In other words, a bend note is. It's the same note I'm drawing on, but I'm getting 2 notes out of it. And I get 3 notes if I want to, and that's just all drawing right there on the whole 2 draw. So,
Yeah.
I mean, because normally the fundamental note is, but I'm getting 2 other notes by bending it. It's a technique that in blues, especially this genre of music that we're doing, you have to master that in order to, you don't have to.
Is that like going a flat or a sharp in
Yeah,
between a note?
I can get. Well, one of the main reasons is that between holes 1 and 4, you got an incomplete scale. You have the 4 and the 6 on the scale. In other words, do re mi fa, do re mi fa is missing, do re mi fa sol la, and la is missing between holes 1 and 4. So I can get that by going. So I bent 2 notes in order to get those 2 notes that weren't there.
Yeah. Now, what about like when you're playing clubs and stuff? You have to have I notice you have an amplifier here.
Yes.
Do you use this particular type of microphone with the harmonica?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Well, in the late 40s, early 50s, there was this harmonica player, a legendary harmonica player named Little Walter. He reigned from Chicago. And he basically set the stage for almost all the harmonica players that were playing amplified harmonica. He took an amp like this, and he may not have been the first one, but he was one of the guys that took an amp and took this special mic I have here. This mic here
is that plugged in?
Yes, it is.
Good, because we're going to have you play a little for us in a minute.
Okay. Well, anyway, this particular mic it's called a bullet mic. These were like you'd find them, in taxi, or like
police
truck
stand
drivers
or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those kinds. And they're not really clear. They don't have that kind of this mic is much more articulate. You can hear it's got a fuller range. This has a narrower range, but it gets a certain tone.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah, right on.
And just to give you just a little bit of this. Make sure, is it on? Yes, it is. Okay. It's going to be a little bit loud, but not too loud. Oh, let me get this good. Okay. You see, it's got a much deeper tone. Then you can produce doing this. cupping this microphone gives it a deeper tone, and you get this kind of tone that cuts through a band. You know, when you're playing with a band in this particular genre of music that I'm doing, we got electric guitars, we got electric bass, we got a drummer that's going nuts. You know about that, and so the levels kind of go up, but there's a different energy in it than just playing acoustically.
So what's the difference between playing the bullet mic and playing the 57 there?
Well, the 57 again is it's great for vocals because it's clear and it has a much larger bandwidth, whereas this one is kind of narrow. My voice sounds very boxy in this.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? See what I'm saying? It doesn't it doesn't have that all the frequency range that this one has.
Okay.
So,
Can you imitate a train with that?
I can do. Yes, I can. I can.
Isn't that what
Why don't you go ahead and perform for us? Do some,
Well, okay. I'll do a little bit of
work it out
on this
work
one.
It out.
On this
Yeah.
one, okay.
Sure. That's what I'm talking about.
The mean old train that took my baby away. The mean old train that took my baby away. The same black train gonna bring her back someday. So you get the idea.
Nice.
See, so there's one of the things about harmonica when they first it was an easy instrument to carry around. It was cheap
Those are big after World War II, weren't they?
They were really
Everybody
big, but even before that, I mean, these were made. I think the first one was made in earlier than the early 1800s. I think they were first being made.
Yeah.
And we'll talk more about that later.
Okay, very good. How about why don't we get into doing a little lesson for Christina here? She's been dying to do something here. I know it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, actually, my friend was bringing up different instruments, and I mentioned to him that I kind of wanted to play the harmonica because it's something I could do when I get older, in case I'm ever disabled and I need to know how to do something. And I thought, you know what? This might be something that I might want to start now because I could definitely do it later.
So, well, earlier, we kind of went over. She started to learn a very simple melody, "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star," and as rudimentary as that is, it is the building block and the basis for simple melodies like that are contained in the most complex symphonies. You can take a piece of sheet music and look at it, and I can actually take these notes that are here, and I could find a sequence of notes like that someplace in there. I mean, everything from Mary Had a Little Lamb to Twinkle Little Star to almost any little, nursery rhyme ditty is found in little pieces through the most complex music. So it's the building blocks of a more complex music. So you start out with simple melodies like this, and eventually you start to put them all together, and you become much more proficient in playing harmonica. So why don't you go ahead and play it?
All right. Well, am I holding it correctly, actually?
Yes.
Is this how you hold it?
Yes, you want to have the numbers up facing you.
Okay.
You want to have the low number starting with 1 over to the far left.
Okay.
And so you want to go ahead and just play a little bit, and then I'll tell you, I'll critique you afterwards and give you some tips.
Is that the right way to hold it, too?
Yes, she's got it right.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's go. All right. Hold on. I have to lean back a little bit here.
There you go. Well, the first thing I can help you with is one of the very fundamental lessons that you need to learn is that to get single notes without slurring one or two or three notes. Now, because of the way the harmonica is set up, you can get these chords that will work perfectly. I mean, it was clear the melody that you were sounding out, but the idea, in order to become more proficient and to get better at playing harmonica, is to get single clear notes. So that's one of the things you would have to do is just pucker up a little more and try. And a lot of times, what you see right now you're hitting two, a couple of notes there. That's better. You got one note right there like that. And that's what you want to do. You want to practice, really concentrate on just trying to get one note, not trying to get several notes. Now, several notes, you want to, later on, those are chords. And later on, you want to use chords.
Okay.
But in the very beginning, you want to learn to try to get single notes, clear-cut tones without slurring any other notes. And that would be the best tip I can give you for right now.
No, that's good.
Yeah,
I mean, when I played the viola, we had to learn one note at a time,
Exactly.
and then you do chords. Okay, well, great. That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other suggestions?
Well,
Practice, practice, practice.
there you go.
Well, I can't do like 8 hours a day like
Well,
you
you know
were.
what? But even if you did, a half an hour a day, 15 minutes a day, that's all it really takes. I mean, it's like anything. The more you put into it, the better you get at it. I don't care what it is you choose, whether you're trying to play trumpet or guitar or whatever. It's about the time you spend with it. The more time you spend, the more proficient and the better you'll get.
And then how will I know when it's time to, like, I have another one. It's in a different, it's an A. This is a D. I mean, why do I need two?
Well, for the same reason that, as I said earlier, that I have all these different keys because we play in different keys, and I sing in different keys, and so that's why you're starting out with two, which is a really great start, and those are really good harmonicas, by the way. So now you can play in two different keys, and that's a good start to your harmonica collection. Because eventually, if you get serious, you want to have several in different keys. So this way you can play. Once you get good enough, you can start to play with maybe a guitar player, and the guy might be playing in G, and you want to be able to have a C harmonica or a G harmonica in order to accompany him.
Okay.
So
yeah, that's good. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So maybe we could start practicing together. Don't you play the guitar when I get better?
No,
you
I
play
would
the
love to
drums.
play the guitar.
Oh, that's right. You're a drummer. I forgot.
play
got
drums.
confused. Okay.
But we could still do that. Sure. Absolutely.
Can you do that
What?
with the duo? A drummer and a harmonica
Well,
player?
you could do anything you
Anything.
want. Yeah, it
Anything
don't
with a
matter.
drummer
I
and
guess
a
we need a
harmonica.
singer.
You could have
now.
taiko drums and do it. It don't
Absolutely.
Okay.
So how about a little more, just another little snippet of a lesson? You got anything else you've learned?
Well, there's something else I could teach you right now.
Yeah,
is
please.
is your hand? Where your hand is. It just for the effect, just to kind of get used to it. You could just take your hand and put the other hand here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm actually going to use the A. I was using
Okay,
a D
grab the
before.
A.
Okay.
That's fine.
Let's switch it up since I
Okay.
have two.
And just draw in, or blow on the note. It doesn't matter if you do several notes. Okay, now what you do is just go like this, and just do.
Okay.
There you
Wow,
go.
look
So
at
that's just another effect you can do. See now
And what's that called?
That's just called a hand waver, I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
But see, I can get single notes and go. If I draw in, you can hear. Listen how cool the sound I can get. So, or I can slap it and go. Or almost has like a chorus effect to it, So there's 3 different positions you can put your hand in and get
Jeez.
different sounds.
So now with all this blowing and breathing and in and out and in and out, we've got a segment that works with the hospitals.
Well, we have a roll-in from a local community here. It's called a chanting house in Palo Alto. It's actually a living community for seniors. And the group that we're about to see, they're 80 years old or older. I think the oldest harmonica or harp player is 90 years old.
Oh, bless his soul.
I know,
Or
no
her
kidding. So let's watch it.
Okay, Dorothy, I'm with you, and we'll try this direction. How's that? I don't want to stand in front of you. Hi,
Sounds
Dorothy.
fine. Hi, how are you?
Good. So that was Old Lang Syne, and for He's a Jolly Good Fellow, correct?
That's right.
And you have something, well, special. You have COPD. Can you tell the audience what that is?
Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, but everybody calls it COPD. All the ads on TV call it.
And it's a lung disease.
It's a lung disease, yes.
And how does playing the harmonica impact that?
It helps you force air out and in your lungs because you're going like that. So it forces you to go force air out and then get air back in. A good exchange of air in your lungs.
A good exchange.
Better than you would normally.
Right. And so is that helpful for your lungs?
Yes.
That's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's great.
And how do you like playing with all these guys?
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. So
Yeah,
you get
we have a good time.
You get good breathing and you have good people you're surrounded with.
You can't beat that.
Yeah, that's good. And do you have a favorite song?
Yes, I like Shenandoah.
I don't think you're playing that today, but we'll hear it.
No, we're not.
Okay. Well, nice to talk with you.
Good to talk with you.
All right, carry
Thanks
on.
for having us.
We don't have to look far for inspiration. Right down the road, we have the Channing House.
That's very cool, you know. And then she was correct in saying, you know, that the whole idea of harmonica playing is really it's about air control, and diaphragmatic breathing. Even if you don't know you're doing it, as you start to progress in playing harmonica, you start to naturally do diaphragmatic breathing, where your diaphragm is pushing the air in and out, and which actually simplifies playing. You know, because you know when you're beginning, there's a lot of you're using a lot of different air, right? You know, you're wasting a lot of air, but that's good for this because they want to breathe deeper and they want to exhale deeper.
I think it's pretty neat too, because if I could have I had lung surgery myself, and they weren't doing that type of therapy. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Stuff they were doing was pretty medieval.
Oh.
That would have been pretty neat.
Did they bleed you?
Just about.
It would have been a better healing
Oh
process.
yeah, if somebody handed me a harmonica, I would have wanted to breathe rather than.
Certainly. Yeah, well, I mean, I can see where the benefits. You know, it's obvious to me the benefits of playing harmonica.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, you know, you learn to control that air better, and you become the air becomes more focused. You know, it's still breathing in and out. That's the unique thing. It's the only instrument that you breathe in and out in order to get to play. It's the only instrument that does that.
That's true. I never thought of that.
That is true, actually, because you're breathing in,
Right.
breathing out.
Right.
Yeah, you can't play an in note on a saxophone.
Yeah.
No, you can't
That's
do it.
true.
Interesting.
Maybe you can. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody do it yet.
Very cool. So tell us about your latest CD, "Take Me With You."
Yes, "Take Me With You." That was, you know, it's been a few years now since I put it, but it's my latest. You know, I haven't been as active as I was. You know, I got a day job now, and so it takes up a little more time. But I love playing, and I look forward to any opportunity to play. So
Good.
mostly.
Speaking of that, I hate to cut you off.
That's all right.
We got to have you play some more because we're about ready to close the show. This is Andy Santana, Christina Kahn. I'm George Brandow. Thanks for joining us tonight. And we're going to let Andy just go ahead and do his thing.
Okay.
And thanks for joining us.